For decades, surveillance cameras have pretty much just been silent witnesses, right? Passively recording endless, and I mean endless, hours of footage. But what if those eyes could suddenly think? What if they could actually understand what they see and act on it in real time? Well, that's exactly what's happening right now. AI is giving surveillance a brain, and it is a massive, massive paradigm shift.
Just think about the big problem with old-school CCTV. It is completely reactive. Something bad happens, and then someone has to manually dig through a mountain of footage to figure out what went on. You're just drowning in data. Well, AI completely flips that script. We're moving from just passively recording things to having proactive intelligence. Instead of just raw footage, you get real-time alerts and automated analysis that gives you insights you can actually use. The camera literally goes from being a dumb sensor to an intelligent guard.
So, here's how we're going to break this all down today. First, we'll talk about what it really means for surveillance to get a brain. Then, we'll get to know a platform called Lumicams that acts as this new intelligence layer. After that, we'll uncover its super surprising origin story and then explore how it's used in the real world, from factory floors to hospital wards. We'll see how it merges the physical and digital security worlds, and finally, we'll look at what this all means for the future of seeing.
Okay, so to really get our heads around this shift, we're going to focus on a specific example that perfectly captures this new era. So let's meet Lumicams, a platform that's designed to be that intelligence layer that transforms your existing, ordinary cameras into smart, proactive sensors.
Now, the key thing to notice here is the phrase software layer. This is so important. Lumicams isn't about selling you new hardware. It's an AI-powered brain that's designed to sit right on top of the cameras you already own. It takes all that raw video footage and transforms it into organized, structured data that you can actually search and act on.
So how does it pull this off without forcing you to do a massive, expensive overhaul? Well, it all comes down to its core principles. First, the platform is hardware agnostic, which basically just means it doesn't care who made your cameras. It avoids that dreaded rip and replace nightmare by using open standards, think of them as common languages, that let it talk to almost any device. This is huge because it means you get more value out of the gear you've already invested in. And it does all this using efficient streaming so you get high-quality video without totally choking your network. But, this is where the story takes a really fascinating turn. The tech itself is cool, for sure, but the story behind who built it and why they built it, well, that changes the entire game.
I mean, you'd naturally think a platform like this would come from a big camera manufacturer or some hardware giant, right? Someone whose entire business has always been about lenses and sensors. But nope, that's not the case here.
The answer is a cybersecurity firm. And I know, that might sound a little strange at first, but when you really think about it, it makes perfect sense. I mean, who understands threats, vulnerabilities, and proactive defense better than the people who fight digital battles every single day? The company is called Lumiverse Solutions, and their tagline really says it all: Guardians of the Digital Realm. And this isn't just some clever marketing line, it's their entire philosophy. They come from a world of hunting down digital threats, and they've baked that CyberGuardian DNA directly into a physical security product. And believe me, this isn't some startup just dabbling in security. We're talking about a team with some serious street cred. They've investigated over 850 cybercrime cases. They've conducted more than 1,500 cybersecurity audits. What this really means is they don't think like a camera company. They think like threat hunters, and they're bringing that battle-tested mindset from the digital world into the physical one. So what happens when that cybersecurity brain gets applied to video surveillance? Well, you get a tool that moves way beyond just having footage. It gives you actual foresight. Let's take a look at how this actually plays out in a few key industries. First up, let's talk manufacturing. This is an environment where safety isn't just a priority, it is a lifeline. A single accident can shut down production, and more importantly, put people's lives at risk. In this setting, the AI acts like a safety supervisor that never ever blinks. It can automatically detect if a worker isn't wearing their helmet and send an immediate alert. It can spot a chemical spill the second it happens, identify a worker down incident where someone might have fallen, or make sure that no one wanders into a high-risk restricted zone. It's all about preventing accidents before they can even happen. Okay, now let's jump to a completely different world: healthcare. Here, the challenge is this incredibly delicate balance between patient safety, privacy, and keeping track of critical, high-value assets. So in a hospital, the system can instantly detect if a high-risk patient has fallen. It can alert the staff if a patient with dementia wanders into an unauthorized area. But it's not just about people.
It can also pinpoint the exact location of critical equipment like ventilators. It can even do things like monitor hygiene compliance, making sure staff are following safety rules. This is intelligence that directly improves patient care.
And then there's retail, which honestly might be the most fascinating application of all. Because this is where surveillance stops being just a cost for catching shoplifters and starts becoming a powerful business intelligence tool. Sure, the AI can analyze behavior to help predict theft before it even happens. But the really cool part? It can generate customer heat maps, showing you exactly which aisles are the most popular. It can analyze dwell time, literally how long customers are standing and looking at a specific product display. It can even automate queue management, telling staff to open a new register when lines get too long. This is data that helps you optimize the entire store.
Okay, so all of this has been building up to what is, for me, the most powerful idea in this entire explainer: the convergence of cyber and physical security. This is where that cybersecurity origin story truly comes full circle. It's all about a physical event triggering an immediate, coordinated digital response.
Now, to understand this, we need to meet the other half of the equation, SafeNova. This is Lumaverse's 24/7 Security Operations Center, or SOC. Just think of it as the command center for monitoring and responding to digital threats on a company's network.
Okay, now let's connect the dots. Imagine LumaCams detects someone trying to get into a secure server room after hours. That's a physical breach. Instantly, an automated alert is sent directly to the SafeNova digital security team. The SOC analysts immediately pull up the live video feed to verify the threat. And in that exact same moment, they launch a coordinated response. They're locking down network access from that server room while simultaneously dispatching physical security. This is the perfect fusion of two worlds that were once totally separate.
So, as we wrap this up, let's just step back and look at the big picture here. This isn't just about better cameras or smarter software. It's about a fundamental change in how we think about security and really awareness itself.
If you remember one thing from all this, let it be this: the goal of surveillance is no longer just to see things. It's to understand what is being seen and then to act on that understanding instantly. We've moved from passive evidence collection to active, intelligent defense.
And that leaves us with one last, pretty provocative thought to chew on. If cameras can now think, analyze, and learn, what becomes the next great challenge for the cyber guardians of the world? Well, it's gotta be securing those very thoughts, protecting the brain that's now behind the all-seeing eye.